Hello and welcome to another SouthernAirs video with me, Matt BanjoMan Walker.
I, Jett McDowell.
And me, Susanna the Mushroom Hunter.
And today we're doing something a little bit different. We're actually going to do a quick Q&A on this channel because it's the 1 year anniversary on the date this video goes out. So, are we ready for the questions?
Let's go.
Question 1. Where did you all meet?
I better kick that one off. So, me and the barista, the big ginger guy who isn't here at the moment, don't worry, mate, we haven't forgotten you. We actually met over social media. We got talking to each other on Twitter, and we decided to do a meetup one day in 2015, and our friendship, it went from there. Matt, you next?
So, as mentioned on one of our videos, we actually met at Bournemouth Aviation Museum, myself and Ty.
About a year before I met Mitchell.
Probably around that, yeah. And this particular aircraft came in. I don't remember you'll probably know it.
It was a Danish Air Transport ATR 42.
Yeah.
There's a video on my channel of it.
It came in and it was all multicoloured and it was quite an interesting one. And I said a sentence we're not going to repeat right now. But that somehow clicked a friendship that's lasted 8 to 9 years now. I don't know how long it's
coming up on a decade.
Yeah, it's coming up quite a while. Go on.
Yeah, and we actually met through a friend, and he got talking to me because of the Vulcan pin badge I had on my wallet at the time, which I have since given to you.
And then took back.
It's a good pin badge.
It is.
Oh,
it's very
real
nice.
good.
It is
Yeah.
really, really nice. Yeah. Question 2: the best hotel on the channel or overall? Do you want to start that one off?
Can you? I think I've got to do some brainstorming on this because I've done a lot more hotels than you guys have.
Cool.
Of course. So, all right. And for myself, I think it's sort of a contender between two, particularly on the channel, because we've not stayed at many outside of the SouthernAirs really. There's obviously the Sheraton Hotel on our Belfast video, part 1. That was a lovely hotel. I was so blown away when we stayed there, and I wish we'd stayed a bit longer. But unfortunately, we had quite an early morning start on our flight. And then the other one, of course, on our recent video to London City, the Doubletree Hilton by London City Airport. That was just a fantastic hotel.
Oh yeah, that's
That
definitely
really
my
was.
top 3.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first, Zuza, or shall I?
Yeah, please. So, for me personally, it's actually very recently we stayed at a friend's pub hotel. It's the Scott Arms near Wareham, and it is fantastic. There's more updates on our Facebook page.
Want to follow us?
Yeah,
we
we
guys
have.
are going to do like a clip, like a short video on that.
Oh yeah.
I think
yeah,
that'll be really good.
That'll be involved. Don't worry.
Yeah, definitely planning on that. But yeah, we have a few videos, a few photos from our stay there, and it is absolutely lovely.
It really was.
Yeah.
I mean, when we booked to stay there, we had booked this particular room, but our friend Charlie, she said that if we didn't book that one, she would have bumped us up to that room anyway. And it was a reasonable price as well. It was about £132 for the night for the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Any other kind of? Oh yeah, you still
Oh,
go.
Ty.
Go ahead.
Yes. So, think of all the hotels I've stayed at. I'm going to give the best one to the Hotel Opera in Gothenburg, which I went to in February 2020. I did a hotel review on my main channel, which is one I've been running for about as many years as I've known Matt. And I also want to give a shout out to a place that isn't a hotel, but it's an paid accommodation place, and that's the Jumbo Stay Hostel
Oh.
in
yes.
Stockholm, Arlanda.
Yeah, we are planning to go there for a video one day, but
'Cause
financials.
Yeah, I've been twice to this place. However, I want to get the Barista and the BanjoMan. I'm hoping Zuza will be able to come because
Please, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd
Hell
love to.
yeah.
Because let's face it, there aren't many hotels out there that you can actually sleep in that were once a Boeing 747.
Isn't there a 380 that's been turned into a hotel somewhere?
They are working on that at the moment. I believe that's going to be in Toulouse, although, like I said, I'm keeping my eyes peeled for any updates.
Oh, yeah. And that's definitely one that we've got to go to as well. I was actually thinking, I thought you were going to say the Tark Hotel. Is it the Tark Hotel in Madrid?
that is one for another day. It is one I do need to do a review on because I've been there, I think, 2 or 3 times.
You and Mitch have gone before, haven't you?
Me and Mitch have done it. I've done it on my own. I can't remember if me and Mitch have done it twice or once. I know I've done it at least once. So
Yeah.
But yeah, if we do a SouthernAirs vlog there, it's going to get featured at some point. It's
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
it's quite a nice hotel. It's but again, that's for another video.
I mean, from what I've heard, it's good for sort of aircraft spotting. So if you want to go something like that, it's kind of like
It's convenient
Oh,
for
where is
Madrid.
it? Yeah, the Sheraton we had a good
Yeah, I
spotting
think-
point.
It would have been better if we'd have had arrivals that day, but the departures were good.
Yeah, it was still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
300mm lens, perfect for looking straight across the airport. Obviously, it's very runway dependent, Heathrow, because obviously they swap the runways on a daily basis normally.
So I'm looking at this next question here,
Oh, God.
and
Do tell. Enlighten us.
it's basically the opposite of the last. The worst hotel on
I
the
think
channel
we're all
or
universal
experience.
on that one.
Let me explain something quickly first. If we hadn't have stayed at this particular one we're going to mention in a moment, I would have said it was the Premier in Bristol, Filton, because it was at the beginning of a 30-degree heat wave. There was no air conditioning. At the standing fan that barely worked, and it was just way too hot to be in there. And I dread to think what it's like in the wintertime.
I stayed in the same hotel on the same trip in a different room, and I had the exact same problems that these two did.
Right.
Right.
But I think yes. What about yourself, Susan? Before we get into this answer.
For me, so it's kind of the same. It's between either Premier Inn or Travelodge. Basically, same problems. It is way too hot. There is either no windows or the windows don't open. No air conditioning. Actually, it does have to be that Travelodge. So me and my family went to Chessington for the weekend. So we had 2 days there. We had to stay at a hotel. So we stayed at a Travelodge, and that Travelodge, the windows did not open. No air conditioning, no fans. So we were all just broiling, okay?
Yeah.
We were in our underpants, you know, we're family, it's fine. But it's just horrendous. And yeah, that we basically didn't sleep well at all that night. At least when we went to the Premier and we had a standing fan.
Yeah,
There was something to circulate the air, which we didn't have at the Travelodge.
I wouldn't say I had the best night's sleep that night,
Yeah,
but it was
no,
still
definitely
we still
not
had a
good.
cat nap at least. Just
Yeah.
and we were basically on top of the duvet, and it wasn't
Not
wasn't
good.
fun.
No
But
fun at
I
all.
think we've now got to mention it.
Hold on, I do want to put a little mention out.
I go on.
Yeah.
Alright, so I live in Bournemouth or the Dorset area now, but for years I lived somewhere else, and when I came down to see my family down here that do already live here, we'd stay in a hotel. Me and my dad would stay in a hotel, my mum would stay at the grandparents, because I've got an allergy to the dogs they had at the time.
Yeah.
But there was a hotel in central Bournemouth where we sometimes used for the air show. Now, the hotel itself was pretty good, but this Travelodge was well known for us to go in the walkways, and it would on a regular basis when I stayed there stink of weed.
Is that the one at Boscombe?
Is
that the sort of
along
between
the
Boscombe and
very
Lansdowne?
long road?
I think it is,
Yeah.
because we
We-
pass
yeah.
it, because I
Yeah,
think me and Dad
that's-
pass it regularly
the
on the way
one.
to and from Zephyr, and
That-
sometimes we point out, oh look, it's the weed hotel.
That is quite a popular
Very
one
well
for
known,
that
yeah.
kind of activity.
Mm-hmm.
But I
They
suppose
probably make a lot of money on 420,
well,
or 2040, 24 if you're UK. But
yeah, right. So I think we've now got to announce. Unfortunately, and I'm so glad that I don't plan on staying there ever again
unless
myself.
the barista gets his way.
The bet.
The bet, I won that bet anyway. It's the DeSalis Hotel outside of London Stansted Airport, about a mile or two away. It was such a bad place to be in. Like the
It was
decor,
It was mediocre at best.
mediocre.
Mm.
A lick of paint would have done something for them. I mean, they tried, I think.
What was it? Burnt pizza and cold garlic bread? or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. We had the burnt pizza that tasted bland and it was just greasy. The garlic bread was cold, like it'd been standing there for like 10-20 minutes before it was delivered to us.
If John Taffer saw it, he would have popped a blood vessel.
Oh, John Taffer or Gordon Ramsay, yeah. Jeez, they would have had a
Or
stroke.
the, I can't serve you alcohol. Go get it yourself.
Yeah, oh my
Go
god!
behind the bar, pour yourself
How
up.
illegal is that to start with?
You remember that, right? You remember the woman said
Oh,
that to us,
no.
didn't she?
Oh my
Like I said,
God.
you couldn't get any more legal than that.
You couldn't even write. You couldn't write this stuff. I mean,
This wouldn't look out of place in a carry-on film. I'll give you that.
oh no. But as I said, the decor. I mean, the room was dusty to all hell. I mean, you had the spider on your pillow crawl out as you lied
Yeah,
down.
and you're the arachnophobe.
Yeah, and you wouldn't bloody move it.
It was a harmless spider.
Well, to you anyway. And then the bathroom.
Ugh.
Cowboy job.
Again, you walk in there. You walk in the room first of all, and you think, okay, this looks fairly decent. As you've seen in our video, I mean, we do genuine reactions when we walk into a hotel room for the first time. We don't have a look around and then start filming. We'll generally walk in, put our stuff down, get the camera out. Hey, here we go. And that was our genuine reaction walking into the Dallas Hotel room for the first time. We genuinely thought it was like a decent place to stay, old-fashioned but decent. And
Good
then
for one night.
And then we dug further, and we found the cracks in the bathroom mirror. We found the tiles coming off the wall. We found the rust on the shower. We found the holes in bathroom walls. It was.
It looked like they'd done some sort of repair job in the place, and the repair was not really done to a good standard. Now, that may not necessarily be DeSalis' fault. That could have been the builders they brought in, which unfortunately is a risk that you do take if you're an independent business or homeowner. I mean, plenty of homeowners have complained about,
of course,
subpar builders.
Of course, but it's on their responsibility to do their research on these people.
All I'm going to say is it says a lot when I call up my dad, who's a retired carpenter and site manager.
Oh yeah.
We tell him about what we see in the bathroom, and he says don't even bother having a shower or a bath.
Yeah. We avoided it as best as we can. We went to the toilet, washed our hands, and that was it.
I'm glad I didn't come with you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't stink the plane up, by the way. I actually have this habit where I go to duty free and just grab the perfume and just go 1, 2 under the neck, and that does for the day. I'm a cheapskate like that, but it's great to try the finer things in life.
So I think this next question is for yourself there, Ty, mainly.
Oh boy.
Well, the next two, realistically, because I've not been in as many as myself and as you, best flight experience on the channel or overall?
Well,
do you need a minute to think, and do you want us to start?
Big question.
okay,
for you.
so in terms of my overall experiences, because I've done, at the time of filming this, by the way, I've got my 280th flight booked.
Wow.
Wow. Holy.
For the record, I've just turned 25 at the time of filming, so that puts into perspective. 280 flights, 25 years. Boom. So yeah, my best flight experience overall was probably the free upgrade me and the Barista got on a trip to Madrid about 3 years ago before we started the channel. Again, I did do a flight review. It's on the main channel.
Mm-hmm.
Best one I think that's featured in a SouthernAirs flight review was... I don't think it's been uploaded yet, but I'd say it would have to be the BA business class flights I did on a solo trip for my birthday.
It should
Cameos
be.
from everyone else
It will be
included.
uploaded by the time we've got this one sorted.
Although I did actually quite like doing the inaugural flight out of Bournemouth. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've yet to properly fly out of Bournemouth. Technically, I've flown out of Bournemouth Airport twice, but not on a civilian aircraft.
It was a great flight, and Matt even showed up in the video just to slate my choice of in-flight goodies.
But goodies.
Now, for me, was by a clear mile Amsterdam. All right, it wins again. It was an awesome trip, an awesome day out, and thoroughly enjoyed by myself. All right, it was also amazing for me because also we managed to get BanjoMan on British Airways for the very first time, and he absolutely loved it. It was an awesome trip. We've done the Heineken Experience, went into the city, did the Hard Rock Cafe. If you haven't seen the video, do check it out on the SouthernAirs YouTube channel. It's absolutely wicked. You will not be disappointed. And it was just an all-round good, amazing little day out. Absolutely awesome. And I look forward to plenty more of those coming up very, very soon.
I suppose my best flight, I'm going to go overall. I'm not going to answer for the channel because they've all been brilliant, so apart from one or two. Anyway, my best flights would have to be on the Virgin Atlantic 747s from Gatwick to Cancun and back. My very first flight experience ever, and to be on the Jumbo, the Queen of the Skies, was such a treat for 15-year-old me, and it was just incredible. It really was. On the way there, we were downstairs, and just to have that kind of experience was wonderful anyway. But me stepmom, Lord rest her, she put us on the upstairs, on the upper deck, on the flight home, and my God, it was incredible. It really was. Do you have anything?
Well, I've been thinking, does it have to be commercial flights? Because I personally actually love flying the plane myself, you know? So the, 2-3 flights I've managed to do with the air cadets of me controlling the plane, doing some aerobatics, you know, the loop, the barrel roll. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
that's fine.
You guys are boring.
The next one, I suppose, again, is the opposite. Worst flight experience on channel / overall.
My worst flight was actually with British Airways on a flight back from Madrid.
Really?
basically, me and Mitchell and my dad went to Madrid for a day trip. We flew out on a Boeing 767, and the flight meant to take us back was supposed to be our first flight on the Dreamliner.
Yeah.
The Dreamliner didn't happen. It got changed to a 777.
Ah.
Not a big deal.
It's still a wide
Not a
body.
big deal. Unfortunately, this was also the same week that the UK had a huge weather problem. I think it was the same time we had the beast from the east, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
the flight was about 2.5 hours late, and they downgraded it to an A321.
Oh, ouch.
The crew were nice, and like I said, overall the experience, it wasn't like BA's fault. Like, I won't fault BA. Bad experiences is something people just have to kind of put up with when you do fly with an airline. Who, regardless who it is, there's always going to be something here and there. Like, no one's perfect, but
Yeah.
you know, like I said, that just goes on record for the worst experience I've had, based on the comparison of a multitude of other flights I've done where nothing really bad has happened or things have gone really well.
I suppose myself would have to probably be, and this is a really, really nitpicky thing, but it's the Ryanair flight from Stansted to Dublin we took recently. And on the way there, hang on. On the way there, they didn't know that myself and Tyler had already pre-booked the food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they delivered our food. We had to eat these scalding hot paninis 10 minutes before landing, and it just wasn't good. It wasn't great. I mean, if they had their paperwork sorted out properly, then that would be a different story, you know. And on the flight back, they had it sorted out, no worries, because they were immediately like, "Oh, you guys, you pre-ordered your food, yeah? Let's get this straight out to you." But you know, if it happened on the way to Dublin, I think it would have been better. Yeah, all right. I know exactly what you're smiling about, the lasagna.
And he wasn't even on the Iberia flight I did a few weeks later.
I'm not even going to talk about that. What about yourself?
Well, it would probably have to be one of the flights I, don't really remember much. Since I've been flying, to Poland and back on like Wizz Air, Ryanair, all those like really cheap airlines, because it's just to get me there, to get me back.
Yeah.
So, cheap airline. There's going to be some turbulence, some children crying. So it's probably one of them that.
Children crying.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, there's usually plenty. And sometimes it was my little brothers because, we're traveling with babies. They're obviously not going to be very happy, with the altitude changes and stuff. That's going to hurt them. They're only babies. But yeah.
Yeah.
One of them.
Next question. Best food you've eaten on the channel?
That is...
I think we're all a bit stumped on this one. Because anytime I think about food that we've eaten on channel, most of it has been the Hard Rock Cafe. And
Yeah.
Guilty
as
charged.
yeah, and
It's your fault.
as much as the Hard
Hotel
Rock
breakfast.
Oh yeah, we have had a few very good hotel breakfasts actually.
Yeah, so I like to get a hotel breakfast included.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I go with the strategy of get a hotel with a breakfast, get the free breakfast included, and then obviously eat in the city for lunch or dinner.
Yeah.
Wherever's applicable.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually not bad. I mean, when we stayed at the DoubleTree, that was a pretty nice breakfast we had in there. I'm annoyed that I missed out on the pancakes and the waffles. I think you took the last two.
There was plenty there when I went.
By the time I got up about 5 minutes later, they're all gone,
Kids.
weren't they?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
DoubleTree at the Hilton probably had the best selection of breakfast.
Yeah.
I've had a few other good ones in other hotels, just trying to remember them all off the fly. I'll tell you what, I had some interesting food on the buffet at the Krakow Hotel.
Did you?
Yeah, I did that recently, so no videos have been edited or worked on
That'll
yet.
be on your personal one, wouldn't it? So, yeah. I've got to say it's got to be something to do with the Hard Rock though. As much as we've had wonderful hotel breakfast, it's got to be something to do with the Hard Rock. I'd probably go for the what's it called, the barbecue beef bacon cheeseburger, with the fried onion bits on there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is so good.
I remember you getting a foodgasm over the ribs in the London one.
Oh, they were good, but they were also quite spicy. So I'm surprised I made it through that whole rack in the end. It was quite a lot of ribs as well.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. Hard Rock burgers are just the best. There's no competing. But also, quick mention to that awesome sandwich that Tyler got us. It was like
yeah, the British Airways one.
Yeah, it was like, what was it? Smoked ham, smoked cheese. It was just so good. I can't remember the name of it right now, but
We can look it up later.
Yeah.
good sandwich.
That was a very good sandwich. You didn't
Oh, yeah.
stitch us up like you did with me on Belfast trip.
You can explain that.
All right, so
Oh, hold on. I almost forgot. 2 honourable mentions. These aren't food, but they're drinks. One I want to give a shout out to is Valhalla, which you can regularly pick up in like Finland, Sweden, Iceland, Norway.
or Amazon because I've got it in the kitchen.
Yep. Beautiful.
And this is something we're going to do on our next SouthernAirs trip in about... It's 9 days away?
9 days, yeah. From when we're recording this video, of course.
Yep.
A pint of Guinness at O'Donoghue's.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Straight from the
Straight
source.
from the
Oh,
source.
I'm looking forward to that. I really am.
I remember the last one in September.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question: the worst food we've eaten on the channel. I wouldn't say it's a bit of food for me. I would say it's a drink. Look at me like that, boy. It's the Bloody Mary I had on the Belfast flight out. So, to put some context to this, we had a little game going on where we would buy each other's breakfast on the flight out. And we can be as nasty or as nice as we want it to be, and it didn't matter. As long as it stayed within a certain price range, we were golden. I decided to get Tyler something nasty and then something nice because I thought, hey, I'm not going to have a laugh, but he needs to wake up in the morning as well because we've been up since 4 in the morning. We needed something to perk us up. So I got Tyler a, what is it? Apple chutney ploughman sandwich of sorts.
With brie.
Brie cheese. And then I got you like a flapjack thing and
Gluten-free.
gluten-free flapjack and
Bit of an odd one, but okay.
and a cup of coffee, filter coffee.
Very nice.
Because again, being nasty because he hates vegetables. If you ever see Tyler eating vegetables, it's not Tyler. And then being nice because it's the coffee and the sweet flapjack.
Well, I have to admit, the gluten-free flapjack idea, that was actually a pretty interesting combo.
It was. I mean, you liked it though, didn't you?
If I was choosing my own food, I probably wouldn't have gone for it, so I appreciate him getting that.
Yeah.
Then it comes to what I got, Matt. I'm going to let him have the honour on this one.
So I only got 2 items, whereas he got 3.
Yeah, but I spent more.
Yeah, because of the alcohol, which you got flagged up at Belfast Airport when we were going through security because you forgot to put it in the little baggie. Oh, the jokes I could have made there. I was so tempted to say, oh, look, he's hiding a bomb. You can't say that in an airport, though. You'll get kicked out, you know. But you'd enjoy that. But where was I? Yeah, so Tyler got me a chicken and bacon celery brioche sandwich. And then, of course, the Bloody Mary, which I'd never tried one in my life.
That was the only reason I chose it, because I know he'd never tried one.
Never had the interest of trying one either. It just couldn't be. I wouldn't have wanted one anyway. Like if there was any cocktail on the menu, I'd rather try a Sex on the Beach, and I wouldn't try Bloody Mary.
The Sex on the Beach is good. It's fruity.
Yeah,
Okay.
you two probably have done it.
Oh God.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. If anyone who doesn't know what a Bloody Mary is like
Tomato
me,
juice
it's
and-
tomato juice, Tabasco sauce, Worcester sauce, vodka, a lemon slice, and ice. And I think there might be something else in there.
Celery stick.
Celery stick normally, but
Not on
I
this.
want
Not
a
on a
flight.
plane, yeah. So
and I'm not in first class, so
The ingredients can vary cocktail to cocktail, establishment to establishment.
Yeah.
But the general consensus is tomato juice, vodka, and there's usually some sort of spicy sauce going in
it
it.
just doesn't sound nice either.
it wasn't. But
To me, it sounds like a liquidy tomato ketchup with
Yeah.
some vodka.
Tomato ketchup with vodka.
Yeah.
We'll do it now.
in essence, In essence, that's what it was, and it's one of those kind of drinks where you sip it, it hits the back of your throat. It doesn't just trickle down; it goes right to the back, and it was just awful.
I've
You got
still got the screenshot of you going, oh no.
Go on, what have you got anything? Any bad foods that you've eaten apart from the Salus pizza, which we've already covered?
So about 4 years ago, at the time of filming, I did a day trip to Paris with Air France to do a bit of aviation photography at Charles de Gaulle Airport.
Yep.
And On the flight back, they handed out free sandwiches, which Air France is one of the last airlines doing this in Europe. They haven't yet gone to buy on board. And I got this sandwich, wholemeal bread, but I can't help but notice that right in the middle of this half sandwich is what looks like a pink brain splattered all over the inside of the sandwich.
Oh, the pink one, yeah.
Now, it wasn't disgusting, but I certainly wouldn't go out my way to have it again. It was basically goat's cheese coloured with beetroot juice, and it had chunks of raspberry in the thing.
It's infamous.
Another bad one I had was on a Finnair flight. They gave this sandwich out, panini, to people.
Is this the pink panini?
No, that was EasyJet. This is Finnair. On a flight to New York, they gave this half sandwich out to everyone, and yeah, inside this sandwich, and it was the most miserable excuse for a sandwich I've ever tried eating. It had mayonnaise, cheese, cucumber, and lettuce. If it was a person, I'd have taken it out back and shot it. It was that bad. I took a couple of bites out of it, but even then, I just conceded. I thought, this isn't happening. This is not going to go down.
And I mean, we were basically talking about the channel, but fair enough. We'll take that.
Well, it's his channel. You can check it out on Tyler's.
Links will be in the description. Go ahead. What about yourself?
Well, I don't have as much experience with airline food as you guys.
I mean,
and the one
I will change that for you. Don't worry.
Thank you. Yeah, as I said, the one sandwich that I have had was amazing. You know, last question. But, well, I'd probably have to say the subpar ribs at, what was it called? Brewers
Fair, Bristol Concord, yeah.
Yes, that one.
We got the name wrong in the video.
Whoops. It was, it was the restaurant next to our hotel, so we got dinner and breakfast in there, and just slightly subpar.
Again, had no air conditioning in the restaurant either, which I really felt sorry for the staff for. They were running around there with sweating buckets, but you know, they did an absolute top job. I can't fault them on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm surprised Zuza chose the substandard rib she had.
I mean,
watch the video. It's not the rib she's slating.
It's your curry.
Oh yeah.
That infamous face.
Oh,
You gonna do
the
it one more
face you
time for
pulled.
this one?
It's so funny.
Yeah, the meme face.
The
Thank you.
Right, so next question is the best attraction / value for money. Personally, I mean, I've got to say, and we've already done a whole video on this attraction. It's the Bournemouth Aviation Museum, right opposite Bournemouth Airport. I would say, I mean, I used to volunteer there, of course. I know it's the cheapest thing to do around Bournemouth at £6-7 an adult, £3 a child.
Yeah.
And it for what you get, it's pretty damn decent. And it's one of my favourite spots around Bournemouth, absolutely. And you can even get inside of all the aircraft like we demonstrated on that video, and it's incredible. What about yourself?
Well, I've been to a lot of aviation museums and standard museums. There's quite a few nice free ones I've been to over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give a shout out to the Southern Sky Museum in Southampton.
Absolutely.
I think that's one that's not really well known compared to some of the others, because whenever you ask someone to talk about a good aviation museum they want to go to, it's always Aviodrome Leibstadt, Musée de l'Air, East Base Paris.
Big ones like Duxford, Hendon, Cosford.
To a lesser extent, the Museum of Flight in East Fortune, in Scotland.
Which we've yet to go to.
It's on the list.
Definitely.
As is what do we call it? The Flying Scotsman concept we've been looking at for the last year or so.
Yeah. And yourself?
Don't put me on the spot like this. Oh,
I have a slightly different answer,
go on.
and I think you'll agree with me on this. I think you both agree with me on this.
What?
Best attraction, value for money. It's free. It's in Scotland, and it's the National Scotland. Was it National Scotland Museum?
If you don't just take our word for it, go on to Steve Marsh's channel.
Yeah, he's done a video with Alicia, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. We love you, Steve. Hey. Yeah, and I think it's a really, really nice little spot to go to. You see Dolly the sheep, where if you've done any research in Year 8 science in the UK, you'll know who Dolly the sheep is, you know. And you got like dinosaur bones, you got whale skeleton, you got different bones of different animals.
They got 4 aeroplanes suspended from the ceiling.
Yep. Even a Red Arrow's T1 Hawk wing hanging off the wall. And
Rocks and minerals,
right,
the stars.
Fashion.
Oh,
that's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
so
brilliant.
much.
It was absolutely fantastic.
It's amazing what they've crammed into that one space,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there's still room for more to go out in it.
Right, so the
What?
next question.
Stop. Shout out to Bournemouth Aquarium.
Oh, yes.
Oceanarium?
The Bournemouth Oceanarium.
Oceanarium. I'm sorry.
Yes. Bournemouth Oceanarium. Oh,
Absolutely quality.
it is. And you should watch that video too. Get to it. Get the views.
Especially if you want to see some wise penguins with moustaches.
And us slating Tyler.
It's yet to be knocked off the top, and that is the Heineken Experience in Amsterdam. All right, now the Heineken Experience is absolutely beyond amazing. If you haven't had a chance to go and visit, I really, really highly recommend a visit. It's very reasonably priced. I think it's about €20 for a ticket, and the tour lasts approximately about an hour and a half. Takes you all through the different places where they make all the Heineken. Takes you through the barley factory and all that kind of thing in the middle. Get to see where it's all made and brewed and etc, etc, etc. And then when you get to the end of the tour, they've got a nice little shop there. You can buy little souvenirs and things like that. And you go through to the main bar and you can have yourselves 2 half pints of Heineken. Absolutely beyond amazing. If you haven't had a chance, go and check it out.
You get.
So the next question, and I think we have a bit of a conflicted answer on this one. Where did the idea of the SouthernAirs come from?
I joined late, so I'm sitting this one out. You go ahead.
Matt,
So-
you can go first.
The way that I see it is slightly different than the way that Tyler sees it. I remember being in a car on the way home from work one day, and I was speaking to you about this guy that I watch on YouTube called the Carpetbagger. And I said, well, he looks like you, first of all. And
Well, he's got better mutton chops than I
Oh,
do.
yeah.
oh yeah, just top notch. And he's also filled with knowledge and information. He spouts it when he's not on camera, but when we put him on the camera, he's like, I don't know what to say.
We're
but-
working on it.
Yeah, but and it twigged in my head. It's like, I'd love to see these kind of attractions, but I don't know if I'd ever get to there because I don't have the transport properly. You got the car, you can take the car out to, I don't know, go halfway up the country if you want, or even fly everywhere you go. And that was where sort of my idea came from, and then from there it formed into what we have today as the SouthernAirs. Go ahead. Do you remember your version of this event?
So from my perspective, we were doing a trip to Amsterdam, and this was my first time taking Matt on a British Airways flight. It was the first time taking him to Amsterdam, and Mitchell was coming with us, and it formed the basis of the first video. And I decided to.
I would say that's the pilot episode.
So what I did was I filmed, and I encouraged them to do some filming as well because I couldn't probably fit it all in. But I filmed obviously the usual flight bits on my GoPro. I did a bit of filming on my phone. He did some filming on his phone. Mitchell did some filming on his phone. And I got the footage together and I put a little vlog type music video together because I'd been inspired by a documentary following the band Marmalade. The video is on YouTube. It's about 20 years old. But I was watching the video and it's Marmalade kind of like filmed on tour and them doing like fly off the wall music videos combining like concert footage, stuff they've shot back in England when they were not in Germany on tour. And I just kind of put it together.
Yeah.
Sent it out as a private video to the boys and friends and whatnot. And Matt said, oh, what if we did this, that and the other to the video? And we kind of took the idea from there.
And that video is technically it's public. It's on the Facebook page. So again, you've got to follow the Facebook page to see more of what we do. And Twitter.
Link is in the description.
Don't forget the Twitter. Question number 10. We are 2/3 of the way through this.
Woo.
Where did the name come from? Where did the name of the SouthernAirs come from?
Shall I answer this one?
Yeah,
Because I
you
actually
take the
kinda know.
reins. You take the reins on this one, man.
So the name is my idea, for better and for worse, for the most part anyway. SouthernAirs, because obviously air travel, mostly by air, because we're all plane geeks and
yes.
travel geeks. And Southern, because we're all from the south of England, basically. And SouthernAirs just kind of worked.
Absolutely.
It's obviously-
It's nicely rolling off the tongue as well, isn't it?
Yeah, because obviously Matt's native to Dorset, which is basically about as south as you're going to get in the UK.
You are.
You native.
I'm originally from Berkshire, Buckinghamshire, that area, West London. So that's obviously in the south of England. And Mitchell is originally from Essex. And obviously I live in Dorset now. But the idea is obviously we all came from 3 different parts in the south of the UK. Because in the UK, the south is basically London down to the coastline. And then obviously excluding
Basically, isn't it?
excluding the West Country if you want to get technical. And obviously Devon and Cornwall. But yeah, that's kind of where it just comes from. SouthernAirs.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a lovely little name.
It works.
It
Also,
really
most of the
does.
Real
airports
good.
that we fly to or from on our trips do, like London airports, Bournemouth, Southampton.
Mhm.
So again, that also kind of just ties in nicely to a degree.
The next question:
Oh, go on.
who farts the worst?
Tyler.
I have been known to use the toilet the worst. If you just asked Matt about Premier in Belfast.
That's on Belfast Part 1,
in the bloopers
right
at
at
the
the
end.
right at the very end. That's something I'll never forget. But oh god, it was.
And you got a good
awful.
taste of it.
It was awful. It was just terrible.
The worst farter as a part of the team of the SouthernAirs is by far Jet Force 1 McDowell. Alright, he is by far the worst when it comes to methane. The smell burns through my nostrils, and yeah, as you can see, I'm suffering quite a lot of damage around the inside of my nostril holes there for that. Matt is also just as bad as well. I've never heard Zooza fart, I've got to be honest with you, but Matt is just as bad as well when he lets one rick it and tramp. But yeah, and there's me, the old sweet innocent one.
Let's skip that one.
Carrying on.
Carrying on, yeah. How much footage is cut from each video?
Varies.
That's
It
for
does-
these two editors.
Yeah, so when we started off the channel, originally it was Tyler that was going to be sole editor of every video, and as well as doing multiple hours of work, and he used your own YouTube channel's videos
And my radio show.
and your radio show, yeah, A1 Radio.
A lot of work.
It is a lot to put on one person, and I downloaded a video editing software on the laptop, and I said, look, let me try something out. I made the channel trailer. It's like my first video I did. I was quite proud of that. And so let me try and do 3 for the channel. I'll do Yeovil and Bristol, I'll do Bournemouth Aviation Museum, and I'll do the Scenic Flight. And I said, basically the little ones I would do, and the big adventures where we fly off and go wherever we need to go, Tyler would do. However, I enjoyed it a bit too much. It's stressful work, yeah, but it's worth it
Took
in
the
the
weight
end.
off my shoulders.
It definitely took the weight off your shoulders. Now, for videos that we've done what you've edited, I know a lot of footage has been cut. A fair
Yes.
amount of it. And that's because you thought that the videos would be too long otherwise. I've now got a
We
rule.
don't want them too short.
Oh no, you don't want it too short. I've got a rule generally, if the video is going to be over half an hour or touching it, then we try and split it into 2 parts. I think that's a fair rule, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, people can kind of just jump around where they want to see this and that and whatnot.
This video currently is sort of like a one-off.
A one-off, very long, understandable.
Until we get to the 10-year anniversary, then we'll need to do something completely different.
And I rarely cut footage from videos unless I think it's got too many long gaps in between sentences, so I'll
Tyler.
snip those little bits out. Or if it's a video that I feel wouldn't really do well, then I'll cut that particular video out, and you know, I'll work around other things. Like for our London trip, there should have been a clip of Tyler eating a triple cheeseburger from McDonald's, but to be honest, I didn't think that would be too entertaining for what we were doing.
A bit of filler that doesn't quite click in anywhere.
It was,
so-
yeah, and the video reached 28.5 minutes long anyway, and that is with cutting sections out and speeding up
We
footage.
can always
And
do a video on deleted scenes later on anyway.
that's actually a plan of what we're going to do later on today. And yeah, I try not to cut out too much. I like to have as much of our adventure in there as possible. That's just the way I feel that I'd be taking some experience away from people, you know.
Different minds, different ideas.
Absolutely. I think that's pretty much covered the whole lot in that one, really, isn't it?
Next.
Favorite time to fly? Favorite time of day to fly?
Now, it's worth the wake-up call at 3 a.m, 4 a.m. in the morning to catch a sunrise departure. I absolutely love them. You get some amazing footage and amazing photographs, especially if you're taking or coming into London Heathrow and you're coming in over the city of London in the morning or early evening just by sunset. Absolutely amazing. Best departure for me was when we went to me and Jet Force went to Amsterdam on the 767, and we took off at Heathrow in a really foggy and misty morning, as we got above the clouds and we turned towards the east. It was absolutely amazing. Well worth the 4 a.m. wake up call.
Yourself, because you've done a lot more experience than obviously we have.
I like to go with midday if it's a multi-day trip. If it's like 2 or 3 days, and I'm happy to do midday because obviously, you know, if you're like me and you sometimes like to do the occasional lounge access, you can get a good deal on one. Then obviously you can get to the airport early, you can have the lounge access and whatnot. For a day trip, obviously I like to try and get the first and last flights ideally. Not that Zeus is keen on that.
Nope. Oh, I hate day trips. No.
You'll be coming on one next week. No, not next week. The week after. Yeah.
One off.
For myself, even if it's going to be like a multiple day trip, I like early mornings just as the sun's sort of rising because you get some beautiful views, beautiful footage, and then summer's evening. Right.
Yes.
Summer.
Summer,
So
sort of
specific.
spring, summer evening, because we've tried filming in the winter. It's terrible because you can't see anything out the window. So you cut out, again, go back to our last question, you cut out so much of the footage of the flight because you just see darkness. That's it. You know, and it's just not really worth that. You know, staring at nothing is just not as entertaining as staring at a beautiful sunset as you're taking off.
Or a fantastic view of London City, Amsterdam City.
Oh yeah.
You know, places like that as you buzz out of the airport, especially if you have a centralised aerodrome.
Absolutely.
Like I got some really good views of it was Poole Quay and Bournemouth Beach as I was flying in from the Budapest flight. Recorded that because I was facing in the right direction.
I mean, even on our scenic flight that we done,
We got some good footage on that. Yeah.
it was supposed to be cloudy, and then the sun just suddenly came out, and it was gorgeous weather by the end of it.
Yeah, to see all these places that we know quite regularly, and we're seeing them from like 300 feet.
Yeah, but it really was hit and miss whether or not we would actually fly on that day because of the weather. It just wasn't really on our favour. What about yourself? Do you know of any particular time of day that you don't mind flying?
Yeah, so for me, it is, as Tyler said right at the very beginning, it's the very early morning, not very early, but like morning, afternoon time. It's mainly because I do go and see family and stuff, so you can, have the afternoon, evening, with family. So that's mostly for me, yeah, and then coming back, not, I'm used to evening, nighttime flights,
Yeah.
so you can have the whole day, and then end of day, time to travel back.
Yeah, and you like to sleep on planes as well, so it's probably ideal time for you to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just conk out. That's me.
Very easy. Next question: what is your favourite video so far on the channel? Up to date. Go on.
Amsterdam. That's it. Just the OG original.
The pilot.
The pilot, not the pilot. It's just quality, That's the good stuff.
Yourself?
Belfast Part 1.
Belfast Part 1.
How come?
Yeah, why? Is it because of Bloody Mary?
What can I say? That was when we really decided to hit the nail on the head with this channel, and we really decided to just...
We're kind of really getting into
We didn't really have
groove.
anything to lose on this one. It was like, let's just see where we go with this.
I mean, the Titanic Museum was beautiful.
Titanic Museum was in it. We had the blooper at the end. We had the flight experience. We had the Hard Rock. We had the Sheraton.
That's another attraction that's really good value for money, because not only do you get the Titanic experience, you also get the
Nomadic.
Yeah, the Nomadic afterwards. So
the only White Star liner in existence.
So again, really good attraction for value for money. I don't remember how much we paid. That's like £30 all in all, like 15 each, something like that.
Something like that. But we pre-booked online in advance, didn't we?
Yeah.
I've been about 3 or 4 times to that. It's worth a visit.
I think my favourite video is a toss-up between the two. It's either the Rocky Road to Dublin or the trip to the Emirates skyline.
Because you're constant pints.
Yes.
He doesn't remember much of it because he was drunk.
Yeah, that's true. As the trip to the Emirates skyline, that was a brilliant day out. Having Mitch back on our videos as well, that was such a wonderful thing.
Yeah, we need all 4 of us finally.
That'll happen very, very soon in the next couple of weeks from recording this video.
Looking forward to it, yeah.
What else was I going to say? Yeah, Mitch was originally supposed to meet us in the restaurant of the hotel. That was his original idea, and that's why I mentioned on that video, so we might have a surprise. But he couldn't make it in time because he was on the crutches as well. He thought he had the wheelchair. It was hit and miss whether or not. Because unfortunately, he's been a bit ill as of late, but he's doing fine now. He's much better.
And me and him are going to be doing a collaboration in May.
Yeah, which I'm looking forward to seeing that one. That's going to be quite an interesting one. And yeah, I love those two videos. I think not only because they're entertaining, but also because of the amount of time, effort, and work that I put into them. I think that it's just brilliant.
Your children.
Yeah.
Your babies.
We were acting like kids. Mitch was scaring the crap out of me. I mean, he does it anyway.
Going to that bar in Canary Wharf, and you guys, it was a surprise for you two. And
Yeah.
then Mitchell deliberately gets up from his seat to waddle around to where I'm sat having mine, because I'm on the other side of the table,
Yeah.
just to give me a slating on my choice of dinner.
Now this one is very, very, very difficult. All right, because they're all absolutely amazing. I'm biased because we have some amazing photo and video editing by BanjoMan himself and Jett. But the best video for me so far has got to be our recent trip to the Emirates skyline in London. All right, that is followed. That has got to be probably one of the best videos we've filmed to date. All right, Amsterdam was also very, very good, and also the Rocky Road to Dublin that the BanjoMan and Jett went and took on the Rocky Road to Dublin with the famous Ryanair. Absolutely awesome. So that's my favourite video, the London trip with the Emirates skyline.
Alright, and we'll get into our final question and our say goodbyes. Which hotel have we found is the best value for money so far?
Value for money.
Value for money. Now, I think we had a little chat on this earlier,
Yeah.
and we agree that as a chain, the Premier Inns are the best value for money.
Yes.
As a chain. But as an individual, though, what hotel do we think?
For me, it was the Hotel Opera in Gothenburg back in 2020.
Okay.
I mean, I had... Well, actually, no, hold on, let me think. Actually, no, it's either the Hotel Opera in Gothenburg or it's the hotel I stayed at recently in Krakow.
Oh, yeah, you really like that one, didn't you?
Because they're both 4-star hotels. They're a really good value for money for the location. Free breakfast included, free cancellation prior to arriving. And the Gothenburg hotel had this before COVID was a thing. So I went in February 2020. And obviously the Gothenburg hotel, it had a few extra bits that the one in Poland didn't have. However, you know, I think both of them were really good. And you could get a good view out of the hotels if you had the right room. It's just obviously luck of the draw whether they can honour the request or not.
Yeah. Yourself?
No, I'm still sticking with Premier Inn. Yeah. No, it's just good. You
It's
know,
cheap, it's basic, it does the job.
Yeah.
You can find
I like
them
flying
almost
Ryanair.
anywhere.
I would say then, it's a toss-up between, if it's not a Premier Inn, it'll be either be the Scott Arms where we stayed,
Okay, yeah.
or
Alright.
the DoubleTree Hilton. I
Yep.
mean, we
It was
paid.
expensive, but
We
got a good
paid.
deal.
I think we paid the same amount for the DoubleTree than we did for Scott Arms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I bumped us up £10 to get in a bit of a better view, better room, and I think it was about 134 for us, 132 for Scott Arms.
The DoubleTree did something that none of the other ones did, and that was giving us the free
Free cookies, yay!
Well, we got
on check-in and check-out. We forgot to mention it on the video. Sorry. Yeah, on check-in and check-out, we got free cookies. So it was like, it wasn't just like a one-off. They were like, hey, take some more. So it was great. I
thought
loved
it was
it.
kind of hilarious that they checked us in, knowing that we were both able-bodied, and they gave us a room that had a wet room.
Again, I think that was me accidentally booking that kind of room.
Or it,
Because for some reason, when I looked on our booking, it was like, Queen room. It's like, I'm not sharing a bed with him. Sorry, but no. Let's go for the twin accessible. Oh, those are good rooms. Let's just go. Why not?
Accessible, there you go.
Yeah. Alright, I think that's all questions covered for this particular video for now. Thank you all very much for sticking around so long. I do apologise, it's a long one, but as I said, it's a one-off, so
It's been
why
worth
not?
it.
One off, it's a special.
It's been a good laugh. Thank you very much, everybody. Hope to see you in the next one. Anyone anything to say? He's looking like Usain Bolt. Yeah, never mind.
you say blocked more like.
Safe travels, my friends, and we'll see you in the next one.